were shouting to open the doors.
Here's Johnny. Thank you. Well, hello there, social media family. Being with any person among yourselves, as y'all or yours are otherwise. To my partner and friends, and or for more than practically, as in possibly butchering the English language as we have it of our own adopted native tongue so far as American dialect is concerned, with all its grammatical usages, the qualities and quantities, and with a rather expansive, extensive, versatile, and or impressive vocabulary. Then, nevertheless, let's backtrack here. The reason on purpose being, or else I can go on following to continue for when my person at last left off, so I can finish up as a complete form period of pride on how, and that same or similar so sense of word. Yes. Then how are you all doing, my social media family? My peeps and our folks, family. Then of any person among yourselves who are affiliated or associated with and representing my own particular YouTube social media channel, and or likewise chat room or conversation. Yes. And like you subscribers and visitors alike, although any visitors cannot possibly be given the same props and respect as my subscribers, being it because any visitors would have to possibly and or finally subscribe is what I meant to say. Prince of Peace continue to regulate my mind, compared to the Prince of Darkness attempts to prove my speech, and to my own particular personal YouTube social media channel, and with the chat room or conversation to be complimented or as to be affiliated, associated with, and representing the same of the said in question, or aforementioned, or former previous primates, and moving right along.
I have never seen such a horror.
Yes, how are you all doing? And for that matter, how any of your loved ones, any relatives or family members, likewise friends of your many different immediate personal households. Hopefully all's well that ends well for you and yours, and for me and mine, for that matter. Also, okay, what they say was some so loud, since work, and move right along. And whereas that being today's or tonight's social media broadcast, being as it is of some such video content material, is regarding or making some such reference to how that a few desperados, dookie shoes, trailblazing, ripping and running through the streets, ripping and running across vacant lots, in and out of alleyways and or vandals, as in abandoned buildings, had come across their female sexual assault victims, female molestation victims, or female rape victims at night, for some time, like, during pretty much so close to the late night evening hours, around about 9 p.m. or so, and for the Chicago suburb of Ravenswood, wherever that's located at. And where they had held them, like, say, from knife point to gun point, pulled them down to the ground, tore parts of their upper and lower garments off, dabbed on top of them, dabbed between their legs, but slob in their mouths, from kissing them, French kissing them in their mouths, to licking and sucking on their boobs, to going for broke so far as poking, stroking, hitting it, and quitting it in the land down under, if you know what I mean. so far as their private parts or their crotch areas of these ladies or females or women representing the opposite sex, and especially if they had, poke and stroke, pow, driven or round robbed them in a couple few of the more favored or most favored sexual positions being doggy style and spread eagle style. And regardless of whether or not after they had essayed sexually assaulted them or raped them, whereas they could have given them a milk mustache, pressed their mushroom tips, or the Oscar Mayer winner hot dog ballpark frank or extra polar sausages against the lips of their mouths, and then, squirted or spurted, bust a nut in their mugs, and have the nut juice from there splashing all over the mugs, hitting their foreheads and eye sockets and nostrils and eardrums, and then pulled up from there, and they are supposed to be still on the loose, on the lam as fugitives of the law, after they had gone about the means to orchestrate, initiate, perpetrate that one particular hate crime being of a sexual nature, coming from the likes of those of these panty snatchers, male characters of the rank and file of criminal elements of society's usual suspects, public enemy number ones, and whereas their particular kind, sort of type, can or could possibly be compared onto equally as well other desperados of the likes of their kind, being of drug pushers, and or dope dealers. I mean, to hold woman, even so at knife point, not to mention at gun point, a woman representing the opposite sex. I mean, that is really showing that you mean business, that you're not taking an answer no. Whereas they made them an offer that they can't refuse, Whereas the females representing opposite sex are supposed to be given the rights and privileges to exercise as to who they will choose to become or be their lovers, or bedside companions, bed bunk buddies, sexual partners. I want to say fuck buddies, but I'm trying to get right with God, believe it or not. Yeah. So they just went at them, tore them up. The legs are lined with a 5 feet line like a cat caught in the corner by a bunch of dogs, They vamped upon him like a wolf having a sheep in his mouth, and they went for broke, like get it. Regardless of how preparations for the sexual assaults or rapes could have been gone about to begin with before they were to, from there, hit it and quit it. You know what I'm saying? After they were to have scoped and then stalked their, their victims of females representing the opposite sex, being a woman at some or such a given moment in time, then please disregard or ignore any interruptions, being which could have possibly have occurred much earlier that could possibly happen, for the present moment in time. Now, as I'm still reciting as lieutenant and not just one of the worst, but one of the worstest incendiary neighborhood communities at that. And therefore, my present neighbors from damn hell characters would be not just some of the worst, but some of the worstest ones yet. For this incendiary neighborhood community, being one of the less preferred ones, that is, more impoverished or more poverty-stricken, with all of its food deserts, and let alone, and not to mention, more crime-ridden. Then getting back to the original subject matter, topic of discussion to be debated, being as it is of a given argument, with many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, and representing some such thereof. Not that I was wagging the dog, but imagine the likes of male characters, the lion channies turned into werewolves. Being like a panty snatchers or the male sexual predator, animal monster characters. Accosting females, scoping, stalking, vamping, or preying upon them, much rather than instead of thinking to get to praying with them. Just to manhandling them otherwise is devastating enough than to think that worse yet, they could hold them at knife point or at gun point. You know what I'm saying? Hold it right there. Get against an alley wall, Okay, lift up the blouses. Lift up your blouses and pull down your pants with your panties, or raise your dresses and skirts and pull down your panties. Let me see what you got there. Looking nice. Okay, y'all gotta give it up. You know the drill. You pull them down to the ground, then going for some. You know the drill. You know what the score is. You know what I'm saying? Be like, you know what this be about. As Seymour is hungry. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Seymour is as Seymour is hungry. You know the drill. You know what this be about. It's a plan. Swear thing. You know the drill. You know the drill. You know what this be about. You know the drill. Give me some legs. This ain't no joke. It's like Murder, She Wrote. Legs. I know the drill. You know what this be about. Woman, y'all don't play with me. Don't play with me and my homies. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the drill. Give it up. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You gotta be like, you gotta give it up. Give it up. And no disrespect meant to the ladies, female sexual assault victims, female rape victims. No, please don't. No, please. Give me that. Give me like, give me that stuff, that sweet, funky stuff. Like, give it to me. Give me that stuff. That sweet, funky stuff. Turn around. Boom, 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 boom. Blue, boom. Boom. Regardless of whether they were, black or Hispanic, rip the clothes off, you know what I'm saying? And was going for broke. Rip the clothes off. Please, no, come back. Oh, please don't. I'll give you anything. Give my money. I got a little money, not much. No. I gotta do this here. Me and my homies. We got no Y'all ain't got no say in the matter. A boom 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 boom. A boom 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 boom. A boom 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 boom. A boom 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. A boom 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 boom. And no offense meant to the ladies, no, or the last mentioned Jensen. I'm sorry I don't have any pics and vids, as in photos or pictures and videos of the male suspects who had essayed or sexually assaulted or raped, to simply say, the female persons or woman in question, being a lifestyle sexual predator, animal monsters, of characters, of males. But then I will give you further updates as it comes along, if and when, if at all, I were to, feel encouraged or inspired to do a second and a third installment plan segment of this one particular present social media broadcast and average video content. As I could receive the 411 info in accordance to the current events or latest breaking headlines, news reports. But then on this last note of interest, I would like to say, if you have not gotten Christ as your own personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now. While the blood is still running warm in your veins, by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha. Forgive me, forgive me for butchering the English language American dialect. But then as a backtrack here to continue from where my person that last left off, going further. And as he was nailed at the cross of Calvary between two thieves at the hands of Roman soldiers up on the orders of their religious superiors, mainly mostly of Pharisees and Sadducees. But he went to that cross of Calvary so that you don't have to end up or wind up in the lake of fire down hell once your clock were to stop ticking. But then if you refuse to accept his salvation at the very moment or minute you breathe your last, and your final destination will become the lake of fire down hell, where you will be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, lost down human souls and unbelievers or unbelievers to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demons and to burn forever, compared to how we as believers in God will be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell in the company of like-minded believers, as in Christians, aka Protestants, and in the presence of God and his angels. Even so, we blessed down here upon the planet Earth, and hopefully while we're still in the world, we could possibly become or be an even greater blessing, a bigger blessing on to another others by sharing with them the gospel message of salvation, the blood sacrifice of our Lord and Savior Christ. You all take care and be safe, be blessed, not stressed if and when you can, or could possibly become members of the household of God or family of faith. And I will talk to you later. And on that last note of interest, then we're out. Peace. And this is classical